Salut my strong friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 12 moves that will make you strong and flexible. Because you, dear friend, deserve the whole package. The moves in this video showcase functional training at its finest, combining the benefits of hypertrophy training with those of flexibility and mobility training. So you'll be ready to take on whatever life throws at you. Now, I really love this kind of training because, as I said, it makes me feel strong and flexible, almost like I'm training to be a ninja. But it's also the kind of training that I most often program for my private clients. Because the kettlebell is a wonderfully versatile tool that is both time and equipment efficient. It's time efficient because many of the potential kettlebell combinations are compound in nature, meaning that they work multiple parts of the body at once, thus delivering a wonderful bang for your buck. Meaning that if you only have 15 or 20 minutes at your disposal to work out, the kettlebell is a wonderful way to get the whole body moving and grooving, while still striking that beautiful balance between hypertrophy and flexibility training. And of course, it's very equipment efficient, as you only need one bell to perform all of these moves. Now, when it comes to training, whether myself or my beautiful private clients, I always advocate using full range of motion and keeping the focus on giving quality reps. If you go to your end range of motion in a squat or a push-up, you are by nature working to develop strength and mobility in the points where your body is weak and or prone to failing in the rep. Now, this isn't at all meant to knock traditional strength training. Believe me, I am all for barbell training to lift some heavy weight. Sometimes the body, though especially the mind, needs that as a kind of release and meditation. It's just that there's this very delicate balance between pursuing strength and not losing your mobility. So if we're not careful, the more we end up increasing the weight, the less we can have an emphasis on proper range of motion. That's why whether you're using just your body weight or a kettlebell or even a barbell, I think it's really important that you have intention in each of your exercises. And ideally that you are able to control the movement in each of its phases. And that brings us nicely into the meat of today's video. The 12 moves that you can incorporate into your next workout to build strength and flexibility. I've divided the 12 moves into 3 different categories, depending on which area they most target. Category number 1 is core. Category number 2 is upper body. And category number 3 is lower body. As I mentioned previously, the beauty of kettlebell training is that a lot of the moves are compound in nature, including the 12 I've chosen for today's video. So these categories that I mentioned are really just rough categories, meaning that the moves included may target that area a little bit more than other parts of the body, but as they're compound, the whole body is going to be working throughout. For each of the following 12 moves, I'm going to provide a few of the most important form cues so that you can perform them perfectly every single time. And for some of the moves, there may be progressions applicable so that you can continue to improve your performance and strength over time. All right, category number 1 is core. Here we have a combination of moves that work both rotational and anti-rotational strength, as well as moves that incorporate isometric contractions to build strength. Core move numero uno is a kettlebell low to high woodchop. We're going to start with the legs in a split stance, keeping the back knee down. Taking the bell in a goblet grip at your chest with just a few centimeters between yourself and the bell. On your inhale, you'll lower the bell down to the back leg's hip, and exhale to press it up overhead diagonally. The progression for this move incorporates an extra balance challenge. If you feel so inclined, I challenge you to hover the back knee as you perform the move. This will add an extra level of instability that will make the move that much more challenging. Core strength move number 2 is a kettlebell split stance twist. So once again, in a split stance with both knees 90 degrees, you're going to hover the back knee just a few centimeters off of the ground. And on your exhale, you'll twist over the front leg's knee. Inhale to come back to center. The progression for this move is to twist in both directions. Exhaling as you twist, inhale to bring the bell back to center, and then exhale to twist to the other side. Core strength move number 3 is a kettlebell windmill. Starting with the bell racked in your right hand at your shoulder, on your exhale you're going to press the bell up overhead. From there, you'll turn the feet slightly towards the left at about a 45-degree angle, squaring the hips with your toes. Looking up towards the bell, as you inhale, you're going to bend the left knee, pushing your right hip back, keeping the right knee micro bent. Think about rotating and hinging the hips to the right and back. Your chest and torso will rotate towards the angle of the toes. Inhale as you rotate back, and exhale to come all the way back up to the same position that we started in. And our final core move is a plank to deadlift. You'll start in your plank with your hands in front of the bell. On your exhale, you'll either step or hop the feet outside of the bell, landing in a deadlift position, remembering the triangle between your shoulders, knees, and hips. Before you stand, remember to pull the shoulders down the back and keep the weight in the heels. On your exhale, stand all the way up, remembering to squeeze the glutes at the top, finishing in a standing plank position. Then on your inhale, you'll reverse the entire move, finishing in your plank position. Category number 2 is the upper body. The following 3 moves target the arms, back, and shoulders. Upper body move number 1 is the classic kettlebell halo. You have 3 options for your stance here. Option 1, easiest, is to perform this move standing. Option 2 is in a kneeling position, and option 3 is in the split stance. You'll start by gripping the kettlebell upside down at your chest, just a few centimeters away from the body. Keep the elbows tight towards the body and the forearms parallel. On your inhale, you'll begin to circle the bell around your head, keeping it as close to the body as possible throughout the move. Pausing at your chest with the bottom of the bell parallel to the floor for 1 to 2 seconds before you go on to the next rep. Upper body move number 2 is the kettlebell pullover. You'll start by lying on the floor in the bridge position with your hips up, glutes engaged. You'll grab the bell upside down by its horns. Keep a slight bend in your elbows as you inhale to lower the bell all the way back behind you towards the floor. As you exhale, engage the lats and the glutes to pull the bell all the way back forward, finishing with the bell stacked directly over your chest. The progression for the kettlebell pullover is to incorporate a deficit, thus increasing the range of motion required. You can do this either by lying on a bench or, as I am here, on a step. Upper body move number 3 is deficit push-ups. This can be done using 1 or 2 kettlebells. You'll start in a strong plank position with one hand or both hands elevated onto the kettlebell. Remember to engage your glutes and look slightly forward. On an inhale, you'll lower the chest and hips together as low as you can, and then exhale to drive down through the toes and the hands to lift back up to the starting plank position. You can experiment here with the elbow position, but I'd recommend that you not go wider than 45 degrees away from the body. All right, friends, we've made it to the final category in today's video, the lower body kettlebell moves. Exercise number 1 is the kettlebell-assisted pancake stretch. You'll start on the floor with the legs spread, bringing the kettlebell behind your head with your elbows pulled in tight and the bottom of the bell parallel to the floor. I'd recommend using a slightly lighter weight here, especially if you're just starting out, because this position not only works to add some weight to your pancake stretch, but it also works to open the chest and the shoulders. On your inhale, you'll lower down and exhale to rise, working to keep your back as straight as possible throughout. If this is uncomfortable, you can modify the move by elevating your hips onto a block or pillow. And don't forget to activate the feet, keeping them pointed or flexed throughout the movement. Lower body move number 2 is the deep squat. You have a few different options here for how to deepen the range of motion in your squat. Option number 1 is to work to first prioritize the range of motion of your hips. To do this, I want you to find a squat where you can push your knees out using your elbows, holding the weight in your hands. For this, you may find that your heels are lifted, which is totally fine, just that as you exhale, you'll push the elbows into the knees, thus increasing the range of motion in your hips. If, however, you want the whole package, opening both the hips and the ankles, then I suggest you try the following variation. You'll start with the bell on the floor in front of you, grabbing the top handle. On your inhale, you'll lower down into your squat, pulling on the weight as a counterbalance. Try to draw your heels down towards the floor as you draw the knees away from one another. Hold for 2 to 5 seconds, and then inhale to release, lifting the heels back up. Our third lower body move is an asymmetrically loaded alternating cossack squat. I know, that's a long name. You'll start with your feet wide, toes pointed out, and the kettlebell racked at one shoulder. Remembering to keep the elbow tight by the body and the wrist straight. On your inhale, you'll bend one knee, lowering to one side as much as you can in your cossack squat. Exhale to rise back up to center. Our next move is the alternating weighted side sit. You'll start in a side sit position, with one foot towards the front of the body and the other close to the bum behind you. The bell will be in a goblet position at your chest, a few centimeters away from the body, with the elbows tight towards the sides. On your exhale, you'll push down through both lower legs to lift the hips, squeezing the glutes at the top. Inhale to lower the hips back down, and then switch over to the other side. If you haven't yet done this move with just your body weight, I suggest you try it out first, using your hands as much as possible to transition from side to side. Then you can go on to adding extra resistance if you'd like. All right, friends, and our final move in today's video is the alternating back lunge with pass under. I think the names seem to be getting longer each time, but c'est la vie. You'll start with the bell in your right hand, inhaling as you step the right leg back into a reverse lunge. Option number 1 for this move is to drop the back knee down in your reverse lunge for added stability. From here, you'll pass the bell underneath the left leg to the left hand and exhale to rise all the way back up to stand. Option number 2 for this move is as you step the left leg back, you can keep the back knee hovering for a little balance challenge. And that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed and picked up a few new moves that you can sprinkle into your workouts in the coming weeks. The inspiration for this video actually came from Instagram, as I asked on my stories a few weeks back if you all preferred videos that were guided in nature, i.e. guided yoga flows or workouts or movement breakdowns. And it was a pretty even split in the results, so I've been trying my best the last few weeks to make videos that cover both bases. So as always, if you have any requests for future videos or anything else you want to see in the way of kettlebells, then just let me know in the comments down below and I will see what I can put together. I may actually have a few really fun collaborations coming in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. I'm going to be recruiting some of the best kettlebell coaches that Brussels has to offer to make some really cool stuff here. So with that, I'm wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to show your body some lovin', and I'll see you all back here on the channel super soon. Ciao!